What I gotta give it to your mother. What I gotta give it to your father. Oh, I didn't see you there. Yes, this is Michael Burhan, and I'm in a rather messy room today. Reason being is the house is being renovated, so this is actually the cleanest room in the house. Well, for me anyway, So, today is Vlog Friday. So what we're going to do today is a bit different from the other videos. The other videos we use mainly this little thing, my lovely blue snowball, as you can tell. And that's great. But today you get to see this beautiful face. Please don't scream. And I'm going to basically talk to you about the news and wrap it up within 5 minutes or less. It's like a pizza. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is in the news today. It's Uber driver receives basically national minimum wage and benefits because they are considered employees, which is a good thing. Stop screaming, it is a good thing. It means that they're not considered as guaranteed contracts, as the European Court has actually stated. Recently, they have suggested that Uber actually should be paying employees because they are considered employees. It doesn't matter that you have a freelance contract. It basically means that companies themselves actually have to pay you the same way like a normal corporation will. This can actually affect big stores like supply chains, Walmart, Sainsbury's over here if you think of anything like that. Big companies that basically hire people as contractors, and thus it gives us as kind of employees per se, well not myself, but people out there who do this kind of work, a chance to actually, test their employer and say, you know what? The money you're paying me isn't actually a livable wage. We want a livable wage. So that's a good thing, but apparently the company behind Uber are saying, no, we're just an app, we're just a device. We kind of bring the client and the customer together, and there's no reason why we can actually, do all this other stuff. Yes, I can see your face. It's total dismay. But they are going to go and contest this, which is a bad thing, but if it does get upheld, it means that we're golden. In our news, video game voice actors make $800 a day. According to news sources and several news sources in the United States, they're actually trying to change this. The median individual income in Los Angeles is apparently $27,864,000, which isn't great. If you're actually looking at it according to LA actors, television shows, people who are basically recognized brand names, guys like, I don't know if you name your favorite established actor, Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr., who probably could do the same work and get paid increasingly bodacious amounts, I think would be the word. Let's go with bodacious. Problem here is you have other video game voice actors and people who've made a sizable amount of income in the industry end up suffering because of the fact that they're not being paid a fair wage. And fair is according to how the contract works. The problem being is, like most industries, the video game industry itself has a kind of different contract. Now, if you're an actor, an entertainer, if you're someone who has actually worked in the industry, can attest to my friend over there, Megaran, you get freelance contracts. And again, this kind of links back to the other article that I looked at in regards to Uber drivers. When you negotiate your rates, it should be through an agent or somebody else that you know who works within, like, the industry itself. But to video game companies, they usually go for an agent, then the agent negotiates the fee, and then they have this big kind of input in terms of how the fee works. Now, to see how crazy this is though, $800 a day to you and me, to anybody out there who's earning kind of a living wage at the moment and is earning bare minimum, that's a lot of money. But to the people who work in the video games industry and people who work as voice actors, it's not that much, considering the fact that the video game industry itself is a $1 billion industry. So now we go to kind of the big thing here and the big deal and why this is a big deal. It's a big deal because you have these actors who could definitely lose their jobs if they basically go through with saying, you know what? We don't like the way things are handled. We want it done this way. Thus creates the big conundrum, so to speak, and puts people in kind of a precarious situation where they may end up just saying, you know what? We'll move on to the next guy. If you don't want the job, then hey. And it kind of works that way in a lot of freelance industries. They always go for the cheapest person rather than the most experienced. Sometimes they'll look at someone and say, yeah, that's the voice. But if that person's too expensive, they'll move on to the next guy. So now come the Screen Actors Guild, who are basically getting their foot in and saying, you know what, this has to stop. We have to make sure that this basically doesn't become a regular habit, and these guys need to be governed, because if they're not governed, then these voice actors, these people who are being used, image captors, their likenesses are being used in these video games now, to the point where people aren't being paid the rate that Kiefer Sutherland was paid for the Metal Gear Solid 5, you can see where the voice is the biggest thing that you have, and if it's a tool that you use and companies are making billions of dollars on, say, the next Metal Gear game, and you're the voice actor behind it, you should be being paid, and paid well. Ryan Collins, who's age 36, so he's been put in prison and basically been charged in regards to accessing hundreds and thousands of Google and Apple iCloud accounts, basically causing that whole ordeal that we love to call the Fappening. Thank you, Internet. Yes, where masturbation is a big deal. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much. As always, leave your comments below. Tell me what you think of today. I'm sorry about all this. I'm going to get a green screen up eventually. If you have any stories for the week, leave them with me. Give them to me. Give them on Twitter. You got my Facebook handle. You got my Instagram handle. You got everything. So I'll leave you on this. I'll give you basically a couple of my worst chat-up lines before I go. Hey baby, do you know how many planets there are in the solar system? 7, because I just smashed Uranus. Hey baby, do you know why they call me a Pokemon Master? Because if you let me take a Pikachu, I can make you Squirtle. After the night with me, you could be Bulbasaur. And I am sorry. Okay, one more before I go. Do you know the reason why they call me Han Solo? Because I always shoot first. Good night, everybody, and I'll see you again next week for my next video. So, yeah. And I know that was brutal. I have no shame.